Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 201 in my countdown to retirement, plus a brief update from yesterday, day 202. So, yesterday, day 202, was a super frustrating day for me at work, which is why I didn't do a video last night to give you guys an update. I rarely get frustrated enough with an individual to blow my top, but that happened today. And all I'll say is that the individual that was taking advantage of my good nature won't be doing it again. They they underwent a little professional development today, so I'll leave it at that. But not happy with how the day went or how it ended. Anyway, jumping topics. I used to be in the car business back for a short time in 2017. And so an acquaintance of mine had asked me to help him research some models in the current market for his wife so that he could get a good deal on the cars. And specifically, and I'm going to look down here because I don't remember all the things that she wanted off the top of my head. So her target models were the Hyundai Tucson Limited, the Hyundai Palisade, the Kia Telluride, or the Toyota Grand Highlander. She wanted them all to be gas-powered in gray with gray interior, or white with tan, interior, or black with black interior. But that was her least appealing one. She wanted leather seats, heated steering wheel, Sirius radio, full dashboard display, and a sunroof. And if the vehicle was used, she wanted it to be under 30,000 miles. So I put together a build. I found vehicles at local dealerships that met all of the requirements that she wanted. I sent her and him links for them to review them and then get back to me to let me know if the build that I did satisfied her requirements, because then I would go and do the rest of the vehicles, and then she would be able to contact the internet manager and coordinate getting a price before they ever went to the dealership. And so they would know, like literally, they can negotiate the whole deal. They would walk in, do a test drive, make sure they were satisfied with the car. The paperwork would already be done. They were going to pay cash because she got an inheritance. And so there was no financing activities, nothing like that. And they would have been like, in, out, less than an hour to do the work. No problem. And I told him not to go to the dealerships without doing that, or I guaranteed he would pay more money because they'd have to justify the sales commission that was going to go in, which internet managers routinely work on salary, and then they get bonuses based on the number of vehicles that they move per month, and so they're more inclined to discount the vehicle versus a regular salesperson who's going to try and keep the vehicle price as high as possible because that's what their commission is based off of. Anyway, long story short, he got back to me yesterday and said, mission accomplished. I thought, I was like, okay. He spent 5 hours out at dealerships and running around to other places with his wife, and she settled on a 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe with 13,000 miles. And I'm like, well, I'm happy that you and your wife are satisfied with the vehicle that you bought. And if you feel like you got a good deal and that's what you wanted, yeah, that's great. But it wasn't even on her target list. So I was like, don't know how you got there, but anyway, we're going to set up a lunch and I'm going to catch up with him and he's going to explain why they did what they did. But he told me I don't have to worry about moving forward with any of the other stuff. So I'm happy for him and his wife. And if she got something that she wants, and it happens to be the same car that my mom has, so totally familiar with the car. That's what I was driving when I was down in South Florida for her birthday. So fine with me. Anyway, and then today, which is day 201 on my countdown, is also my 39th wedding anniversary. So, yay me. And so I did, like I always do on Saturdays, my financial review. And surprising to me, because I have been watching things happen during the week, and especially given that the Israelis, targeted the nuclear sites in Iran, and the market was down at some points. The Dow was down like over 800 points at one point on Friday. When I did the numbers today, I didn't have high hopes for how our portfolio was going to how it ended the week. I'll just leave it at that. But when I actually did the numbers, I was super surprised that we actually ended the week at a new week ending high, because as part of my portfolio, some of my biggest holdings happen to be in the energy sector. And so energy was up substantially this week because of potential disruption to the global energy supply that people are worried about with would they close the Straits of Hormuz or other things that would disrupt the global energy supply. And also, as I shared with you previously, I own Oracle because it's one of the things I use at work and I'm intimately familiar with how it works. Anyway, Oracle was up 24% this week. So between energy spiking and Oracle, it offset all the other things that went down for the week in my portfolio. So net, we ended up hitting a new high. So, yay me. So anyway, I was happy with that. The market as a whole, though, ended the week down. So the Dow finished down 1.3% at 42,198. The S&P 500 was down 0.4% at 5977, so it broke down under 6,000. The Nasdaq was down 0.6% at 19,407, and the Russell 2000 was down 1.4% to 2101. And like I said, the energy sector was up 5.7% for the week. WTI crude was up 13% and ended the week at 72.98 a barrel, and gold was up 3.2% and ended at 34.5280 per troy ounce. So, it is what it is. Then I decided to weed my garden because I walked by and it was like a lot of weeds in there. So anyway, it was an impromptu decision. So I spent 2.5 hours outside and I weeded the garden, and then I also took my trimmer out there and I trimmed back a number of the plants in our courtyard. Before hopping in the shower and then deciding to go out to an anniversary lunch with my wife. And because it was an impromptu decision, I didn't put on a hat, I didn't put on sunscreen. Big mistake for me. My head is throbbing, and I'll show you a quick picture here because it's pretty sunburned. And so then we went out to Bahama Breeze because that's where my wife wanted to go for the anniversary lunch. And, we exchanged our anniversary cards while we were there. And then my wife had a bowl of seafood chowder, and she got this order of firecracker shrimp. That was her meal. I had a bowl of the chowder, and then I got 2 coconut shrimp tacos with yellow rice. And then the manager, because it was our anniversary, was kind enough to give us or compass, I should say, a dessert, which was a key lime pie that, we were super appreciative of him, giving to us. But unfortunately for us, it didn't end up being to our liking. So, if and when we go back, that won't be something that we order when we're at that particular restaurant. Then I spoke to my mom, spoke to my son, my sister-in-law, whatever. They wished us a happy anniversary. And then tonight, I plan to go out to Copeland's of New Orleans for our anniversary dinner. So I picked the dinner, she picked the lunch. And then when I go there, which I plan on getting their Cajun gumbo yaya soup and their crawfish etouffee, which are 2 of my favorites. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, that's really my update for today. I hope you guys have a great evening. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below, or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. And for those fathers out there, I hope you have a great Father's Day tomorrow. And until tomorrow evening when we catch up, take care.